Hi, welcome to KidTime. Today is Sunday, April 19th, 2020. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Liz. I am the Director of Children's Ministries here at Our Redeemer's Lutheran Church, and I'm glad that you're able to join me today. So today you are going to need the worksheet titled Doubting Thomas, and it should say John 20:19 through 31. Okay, and here's what the back looks like. If you don't already have this worksheet, you can find this worksheet right below my video on the Our Redeemer's live page. There should be a link that says download worksheet or Spark worksheet, something along those lines. Awesome. Okay, so finally, we have our list of materials that you will need for KidTime today. All right, so number 1, crayons, markers, or pencils. 2, you'll need a red marker, crayon, or colored pencil. 3, you'll need 1 small Band-Aid. I hope that you guys have one of those at home somewhere. And number 4, the Doubting Thomas worksheet and stickers. And as usual, if you don't have the stickers, it's not a big deal, because you can always draw instead of use stickers. Unfortunately, wasn't able to get stickers out to everybody. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Alrighty. Okay, we're gonna start how we start every KidTime with our welcome song. Okay, we've been doing this for a couple weeks now, so I hope you guys are in the routine. But I will sing the song first, just to me, and I'll use my name, and then I'll sing it a second time. When I sing it the second time, you're gonna use your name at the same time I'm using my name. Okay? All right, here we go. I'll move my book around. All right, so here we go. Liz is here, Liz is here. Clap your hands and give a cheer. Liz is in God's house today. Hooray, 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 hooray. Alrighty, are you guys ready? This time you get to use your own names. I hope I can hear you all the way from my house. All right, here we go. Liz is here, Liz is here. Clap your hands and give a cheer. Liz is in God's house today. Hooray, 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 hooray. Some of you might ask, wait a minute, we're not in the church today or God's house, right? But right now, while we're all staying home and staying healthy, where we are serving God and learning about God is God's church. All right. Okay, we're going to read a story. The story's name today is Doubting Thomas. All right. So, I'm not going to show you the pictures the first time I read today, okay? Do you think that you would feel happy knowing that, or confused? So, the disciples are all talking at once, but Thomas has grumpy eyebrows. Okay, so imagine that in your head. How do you feel when you don't get to see pictures? Yeah, so you might feel curious, you might feel left out, you might feel sad, you might feel kind of angry. You like to see pictures when you read a story, right? Right! So you are feeling the way that Thomas felt when he didn't get to see Jesus, like the other disciples did. Thomas had a hard time believing what his friends saw. So I'm going to read to you, and I want you guys to try to imagine the pictures in your mind from the words that you hear. All right. Doubting Thomas. The disciples were hiding in a house the night Jesus rose from the dead. They were afraid. Bam! They locked all the doors. Jesus came and stood by them. "Peace be with you," he said. The disciples looked up in surprise. Jesus showed them his hands and his side so that they would know it was him. The disciples were very happy. Again, Jesus said to them, "Peace be with you. God has sent me to you. Now it's your turn to go tell the rest of the world about me." Jesus breathed on them in a very special way. He said, "With this breath, I will always be in your hearts, even when I am in heaven. You now have the power to do the things I've asked you to do." Thomas was the only disciple not there that night. When he got back, the others excitedly told him about Jesus' visit. "I don't believe you," Thomas said. "I'll believe when I can touch Jesus' wounds." A week later, Thomas and the other disciples were in the same house. Jesus came again and stood with them. "Peace be with you," he said to them. "Thomas," Jesus commanded, "come here. Give me your hands. Put your finger on the wounds in my hand. Put your hand by the wound in my side. Do not doubt anymore. It's time for you to believe." Thomas's eyes popped. "My Lord and my God," he exclaimed. Jesus answered him, "You believe because I'm here with you and you've seen me. Think of those who have not seen me, but believe in me anyway. You should believe even when you cannot see it for yourself." All right. So what do you think is in the picture? Okay. So Jesus comes to see Thomas to help him believe. Thomas's eyes are bulging and his mouth is open in surprise. Jesus is reaching out to Thomas, offering his hand to Thomas to touch. All right. So I'm going to read the story again. This time, you're going to see the pictures. Ready? I want you to listen carefully for the word believe in the story this time. When you hear the word believe, I want you to point to your brain with one hand, just like this. All right, ready? Believe. Good job. And when we believe, we know God in our hearts and our minds. So when we point to our head, we're also going to point to our heart. Okay? So let's try that again. So I say the word believe. You're going to point to your head and then to your heart. Because when we believe with our head and with our heart. Because Jesus wants us to believe, even when we can't see. All right. Ready? We're going to practice. Believe. Good job, guys. All right, here we go. Now we get to see pictures. The disciples were hiding in a house the night Jesus rose from the dead. They were afraid. Bam! They locked all the doors. Jesus came and stood by them. "Peace be with you," he said. The disciples looked up in surprise. Jesus showed them his hands and his side so that they would know it was him. The disciples were very happy. Again, Jesus said to them, "Peace be with you. God has sent me to you. Now it's your turn to go tell the rest of the world about me." Just making sure I didn't miss the word believe. Jesus breathed on them in a very special way. He said, "With his breath, I will always be in your hearts, even when I am in heaven. And you now have the power to do the things I've asked you to do." Thomas was the only disciple not there that night. When he got back, the others excitedly told him about Jesus' visit. "I don't believe you," Thomas said. "I'll believe when I can touch Jesus' wounds." A week later, Thomas and the other disciples were in the same house. Jesus came again and stood with them. "Peace be with you," he said to them. "Thomas," Jesus commanded, "come here. Give me your hands. Put your finger on the wounds in my hand. Put your hand by the wound in my side. Do not doubt anymore. It's time for you to believe. Thomas's eyes popped. Oh, we missed a believe. Oh, I'm sorry. Believe. Thomas's eyes popped. My Lord and my God, he exclaimed. Jesus answered him, you believe because I'm here with you and you've seen me. Think of those who have not seen me, but believe in me anyway. You should believe even when you cannot see it yourself. Why did Thomas have a hard time believing that Jesus was alive? That's right, he didn't see Jesus. When did Thomas believe? He believed finally when he did see Jesus. Jesus then tells Thomas and us that we can believe even when we can't see. Jesus helps us believe. All right, friends, I want you to get out your worksheets. Okay, so your worksheet should look like this. All righty. So this is like a picture from Doubting Thomas story, right? You guys can see that picture there with the two guys. What is happening in the picture? Jesus is reaching out to Thomas, and Jesus is helping Thomas believe. Now, I'm going to hold up a picture from the Bible that we read. Do you guys see anything different from this picture compared to your worksheet? I want you to look for a big difference other than squiggles. That's right. In this picture in our Bible, Jesus has a wound or a sore on his hand. All right? How did Jesus get hurt? I wonder. That's right, friends. Because he was nailed to the cross. He was on the cross. That's how he got hurt. When Jesus showed Thomas the cut on his hand, Thomas believed. So I want you guys to take a red marker and I want you to draw that matching cut on Jesus's hand, okay? Something sort of like this. Kind of an oval shape. All right. When we get cuts or other hurts, we cover them with bandages to protect them and help them heal. So let's put a Band-Aid on Jesus. So I hope you guys were able to find a Band-Aid, okay? Let's put a Band-Aid on Jesus. Now, we can't see where Jesus was hurt. Isn't that kind of nice? Because we helped heal Jesus. Alrighty, here's my Band-Aid. Now you can't see where his wound is. Remember, Jesus tells Thomas and us that we should believe even when we can't see or touch him. Jesus reaches to us to help us believe. Now it's our turn to reach for Jesus. So what I want you to do is take your hand, whichever hand is not the hand you write with. So take the hand that is not the hand you usually write with. Okay? And then I want you to pick up a pencil or a crayon or a marker, whatever you have at home. Okay? And I want you to put it on top of Jesus's hand, kind of like I'm doing right here, using the hand I don't usually write with. Okay? And I'm going to trace my hand. And my hand is going to look so much bigger than your hands, friends. And that's because I'm an adult and I have a full-grown hand so far. And you guys don't quite yet. Okay. Can you see my hand? Sort of. You can kind of see it there. Okay. If you're not able to do this by yourself, you can pause the video and have an older sibling or mom or dad help you out. So we do this to show that we're reaching for Jesus too. Okay? Jesus helps Thomas and us believe. Alrighty. So we're gonna go to the other side of our worksheet. And for this portion of the worksheet, you're gonna need stickers, your stickers. Okay, for this week, if you have stickers, these are the stickers that you should have. If you don't have stickers, that's okay, not a big deal. All right, so we're gonna match the shadows of these everyday items to pictures of what they are. All right, so what is this shadow with ears? What could that be? What is this shadow with ears? You guys are smart. You're right, it's a teddy bear. So if you have stickers, you can pick up the teddy bear sticker. If you don't have stickers, oh my gosh, you guys get the opportunity to use your very best drawing skills and draw a picture of a teddy bear in that little circle. Oh, did I match that right? Yeah, that works. Okay. Alrighty. Let's go to the next shadow. Okay. All right, the next one. What is this a picture of? What is that a picture of? That one's kind of a hard one. But I think you figured it out. It's a flower. So if you have stickers, you can add the picture of a sticker. If not, you can draw your very best beautiful drawing of a flower. Okay, this next one. That one's hard. So one shadow is a long handle. What do you think it is? Oh, some of you think it's a toothbrush. How do you know? Oh, because of the bristles. Yeah. So if you have a picture of, so you guys should have a picture of a toothbrush on your stickers, and you can pick that up and you can stick it in that rectangle right above its shadow. If you don't have stickers, you get to use your very best drawing skills and draw a picture of a toothbrush. And if you're drawing, friends, it's okay if you pause so that you can keep up. All right, last one. Last one. This one has a very unusual shape. What do you think it is? Yeah, oh my gosh, there's no tricking you guys. It's some sunglasses or even eyeglasses, like glasses that people wear if they can't see very well, right? It could be either one. All right, so the last picture, last sticker here, place that right above that picture there. Okay, and once again, if you don't have stickers, you can draw a picture, because I'm sure you guys are beautiful artists. I have no doubt. All right, so this tells us that even when we can't see the pictures, we know what is what, right? Even when we can't see things, we still know, just like we know that Jesus rose from the dead, even though we didn't see him. Alrighty, we're gonna go to the bottom part of our worksheet down here. It should look just like this. Okay, and you're going to need a black marker, probably, or crayon, or if you're just using a pencil, that's fine too. All right. So it's our job to help others believe about Jesus, even though no one can touch or see him. When others see that we follow Jesus, they may see Jesus in us. So what I want you guys to do is give the people at the bottom of your worksheet eyes to see Jesus. So they already have eyes. We're gonna draw bigger eyes right on top of the regular eyes. These are their eyes to see Jesus with, okay? So using your marker, draw your very best eyes, and I'll draw these ones, and then I will. And then I will show you guys how I did it, so that you can pause the video and do the same, okay? And mine are gonna have brown eyes, just because I have brown eyes. All right. Okay, here's my eyes. They have eyes to see Jesus. Kind of cool. All right, so go ahead and pause the video if you need to, and you can draw your eyes. All right, so what are some things we can do to be like Jesus to other people? How can we be like Jesus to other people? Think about how he treats others. Yeah, so we can love, we can forgive, we can be kind, we can share, we can tell about God's love to each other. There's a lot of really neat things we can do to see Jesus and be like Jesus. So when we believe we know about Jesus in our hearts, and our minds, that's a pretty cool thing. So I want you guys to take a, if you have yellow, or a color that you would like to use for a star, okay? And on top of all of these friends' heads, I want you to draw a star, because that means you believe. The star is for believing with your mind, believing with your mind. So draw a star on each one of their heads to show about believing with your mind. Okay, there's my stars. It's really hard to see my stars. Sorry, friend. Okay, and then after you do that, and you can pause if you need to, we also believe with our hearts, right? About Jesus. So you're going to take, and I'm using pink, but you can use whatever color you want to represent a heart. And on their chest, you're going to draw a picture of a heart. Okay, draw a picture of a heart. Because I believe with their hearts and their minds. See my heart? Alrighty. Okay, so once again, you can pause so you can catch up. Jesus helps us believe. Why didn't Thomas believe at first? Because he didn't see Jesus as the other disciples did. He was the only one that didn't get to see him. What made Thomas believe, though? That's right, when he finally saw Jesus and saw the sores on his hand and in his side. Even when we can't see Jesus, Jesus wants us to believe. Even though we can't see him, do you believe in him? Yes, you do. Jesus helped Thomas believe, and he helps us believe too. And we believe that Jesus died on the cross, then came back to life. He met with Thomas and the other disciples to help them believe. Jesus helps us believe too. Okay. So before you leave me today, I want you to remember this one thing. We are currently trying to decorate the church windows because they look kind of sad, and something people are doing around town is decorating their windows to brighten things up a little bit. So what I would love for you to do is to go to the Our Redeemer's Lutheran Church Children's Ministries website, and underneath of Sunday school, online Sunday school lessons, there's a link to that's called Hearts to Color. I would love it if as a family you guys can decorate those hearts any way you want, cut them out, and then send them to the church so we can use those hearts to decorate the windows. Wouldn't that be exciting to see your hearts up on the windows at the church? I think it would be. If you would like me to personally send you an email with the hearts in it, please just let me know. Email me at liz@ourredeemerlives.org. Once again, that's liz@ourredeemerlives.org, and I will send them directly to you. All right. Okay, so closing prayer. So I want everyone to put your hands together in your favorite way to pray. So today in our prayer, we're going to use our fingers to draw a heart in the air, okay? Let's pray. You guys can repeat after me. Dear God, Thank you for Jesus who helps us believe. Even what we can't see. Help us pass your love on to others. Amen. Alrighty, friends, it was great to see all of you. I continue to miss you, and I hope to see you soon. Stay healthy. God bless. Bye.